Hello friends, in this video we will learn about megaloblastic anemia. We need to know what is the basic difference between macrocytic anemia and megaloblastic anemia. In macrocytic anemia, there is just an increase in the size of RBC, whereas in megaloblastic anemia, there is an increase in size as well as a condition called nucleus cytoplasm asynchrony. Nucleus cytoplasm asynchrony. So in this nucleus cytoplasm asynchrony, the development of nucleus and cytoplasm does not happen in a synchronous fashion. Okay, so the megaloblastic anemia can be seen in folic acid deficiency, vitamin B12 deficiency, and action of some drugs. We will look at the causes of megaloblastic anemia now. So the first cause, deficiency of vitamin B12. Okay, so for normal digestion of vitamin B12 we need intrinsic factor which is present in the parietal cell of stomach, and we need pancreatic enzyme, and ileum is the site of absorption. Let's look at the function of vitamin B12. It helps in the proliferation of rapidly dividing cell, and also very important, it helps in DNA synthesis. Okay, so the requirement of vitamin B12 in biochemical reaction. What are the biochemical reaction where we need vitamin B12? First and foremost, the very important, it converts homocysteine to methionine. Okay, homocysteine to methionine, and also it converts methyl manonyl coenzyme A to succinyl coenzyme A, and this succinyl coenzyme A is very important for the formation of myelin. Now let's suppose there is a disturbance in the biochemical reaction. So what it would cause? We can find demyelination, and there would be an elevated level of homocysteine and elevated level of methyl manonyl coenzyme A. Okay, so how does this deficiency occur? This happens because of course less intake, less absorption, and more requirement. So when do we have less intake? Suppose you are a vegan. Okay, the main source of vitamin B12 is mostly animal and animal product. So if you are a vegan, you won't consume animal product, and there is a high chance of developing megaloblastic anemia. Okay, now absorption, it could be hampered due to less intrinsic factor, or pancreatic disease, or ileal disease, or some infection like fish tapeworm infection, which is caused by Diphyllobotrium latum. Okay, and also there could be an increase in requirement which could be seen in children, in pregnant or lactating women, or there is a syndrome called blind loop syndrome. Here there is extra growth of bacteria in the intestine that consumes vitamin B12. So it will consume vitamin B12 and the required will be more in the body. Okay, so let us see what happens when there is deficiency of vitamin B12 in our body. So in blood and bone marrow we will see pancytopenia. What is pancytopenia? It is decrease in RBC, WBC, and platelet. Okay, also we will see dyserythropoiesis. Dyserythropoiesis is an abnormal erythropoiesis which can show its effect in RBC, WBC, and platelet. In RBC, you can see macroveilocytosis, which is very important as it is the earliest manifestation of vitamin B12 deficiency. Okay, there would be also basophilic stippling and Hobel-Jolly bodies. In WBC, you will see a hypersegmented neutrophil. There would be 5 nuclear lobes in neutrophils. You can see that in WBC. In platelets, the size of platelet will increase and the shape would be abnormal. Coming to GIT, you can see mucosal atrophy, and in tongue you can see smooth shiny appearance, which is also known as beefy tongue. Okay, there is so much atrophy in tongue that you can even see the muscle. Okay, in CNS there would be less myelin and this would cause nerve damage. Okay, in peripheral nerve there would be peripheral neuropathy, and also we can see a condition known as subacute combined degeneration of spinal cord. Here we see that in this neuropathy there is damage of spinothalamic tract and corticospinal tract, that is the ascending and descending tract. So it is subacute. Subacute means it is gradually occurring, combined as it is containing ascending as well as descending tract, degeneration because of myelin deficiency of spinal cord. Okay, and this thing is also seen in case of neurosyphilis. Now, what are the clinical features of megaloblastic anemia? The patient would show condition of anemia and jaundice along with neurological clinical symptoms. Okay, diagnosis, how we will diagnose the case. In the blood sample we will see increase MCV because there is dyserythropoiesis, so MCV will increase. We will see increase in MCH also, but here is the interesting thing, MCHC would be normal. Why would be normal? Because we know MCHC is equal to MCH divided by MCV. So since both are increasing, it will have a normal value. Okay. Also we will see basophilic stippling and Howell jelly body, and also we have already seen that hypersegmented neutrophil. Okay. For confirmation, serum vitamin B12 level will decrease, serum homocysteine and serum methyl manolil will increase because of the deficiency of vitamin B12. They would not get converted to their product. Okay, serum methyl manolil coenzyme A, when it is present in blood it is known as methyl manolilemia, and when it is present in urine it is known as methyl manoliluria, urea and emia. Okay, in bone marrow, what we will see, in bone marrow we will see a hypercellular bone marrow because of ineffective erythropoiesis, and this will cause a reduction in reticulocyte. Now let us come to the second cause of megaloblastic anemia, that is folate deficiency. Okay, folate in our body is present in the form of polyglutamate, here polyglutamate, and it is converted into monoglutamate form, so it is absorbed in the jejunum. Since polyglutamate is a polar substance, it cannot be absorbed. Okay, so causes of folic acid deficiency, as we all know, there will be decrease intake, decrease absorption and increase in the requirement. There are few drugs which can reduce folic acid absorption in our body. They are alcohol, methotrexate and OCPs, oral contraceptive pills. The receptor of folic acid is synthesized by genes present at chromosome 21. This can be asked in MCQs. The clinical feature of folic acid deficiency is megaloblastic anemia, and the thing here is there is no neurological manifestation as myelin is not affected. Okay, now for the diagnosis, we can see there is reduced level of serum folate. Of course there would be reduced level of serum folate because there is deficiency of folate. Then we have reduced number of RBC folate, which is the best source for the diagnosis of this disease. Okay, and lastly we have FIGLU test, where we can see the presence of FIGLU in our urine. So what happens in FIGLU test, we have histidine, okay, which is converted into 4-aminoglutamate, which is known as FIGLU, and folic acid converts it into glutamic acid. So since there would be deficiency of folic acid, FeGLU will be excreted in the urine. Okay. Lastly, for the investigation of megaloblastic anemia, we have B12 deficiency megaloblastic anemia and folic acid deficiency megaloblastic anemia. The main difference is that we would see neurological symptom in B12 deficiency where there is no neurological symptom in folic acid deficiency. Methyl manonyl coenzyme A will increase, whereas in folic acid deficiency it would be normal. Okay. The important thing here is no matter what is the cause of anemia, B12 deficiency or folic acid deficiency, we have to give both B12 and folic acid. Okay. Why? We can never give folic acid in isolation because it may improve the folic acid deficiency, but it will worsen the neurological condition. With this, we come to an end of megaloblastic anemia. Now we will see few MCQs. The answer of the MCQ will be provided in the description box below. Thank you.